So I went to Amsterdam this weekend, and it is one of my most favorite places in the entire planet. Here is the view from the Amsterdam Central station, where we got off so that we could hop onto a tram. Then, on the tram, we got off at Koningsplein, Signal Street. I think that's how you say it. Then, Bloemenmarkt. Here is a small souvenir store, and next is a small Dutch Delftware shop where I was amazed at the intricacies of tulip vases. Afterwards, I walked to an old safe haven for Catholic nuns, which was absolutely breathtaking. Saw some Catholic art on the walls, and we also saw one of the oldest wooden houses in one of the most beautiful and most peaceful gardens. There was also this statue of Jesus, with some interesting additions that I speculated were not part of its original design. Next, oh my god, cheese. So much cheese. And the ever-constant vibrance of the canal views, which never gets old. Not far from where we were staying was this beautiful cathedral with colorful stained glass and the ever-eerie feel that cathedrals always seem to give me. I took a cat nap, had dinner, and then, slightly inebriated, walked around the town with the brisk air and the safe streets making me feel ever so comfortable. The next day it was gray and rainy, which is perfect indoor museum weather. Here I am walking away from the Van Gogh Museum, filled with gratitude from being able to visit 5 years later. I wasn't able to film inside the museum, but in a way I'm grateful for that because of the intimacy I got to experience with my favorite artist. Anyway, the Rijksmuseum was next. Here it is, looming in the distance. But first, an unhealthy snack. This was delicious. Now for the biggie. The Rijksmuseum is a monster of a building, intimidating in size and splendor. On special exhibition was the All Rembrandts exhibit, which was, in a word, overwhelming. It blew my mind witnessing how much beauty one person could create within their artistic career. How devoted he must have been to sketching, painting, and etc., and how it was even possible for someone to pour this much art into the world. Although the title of the exhibition was All Rembrandts, they didn't even have Night Watch, which was sitting in the Gallery of Honor on the second floor. Then, of course, I remembered Van Gogh. This was the only Van Gogh self-portrait in the Rijksmuseum, and it was surrounded by a mass of people. I found it curious how so many people flocked around this one portrait when they could see so many more just down the street. Why here, in this cacophony of art? My favorite Van Gogh self-portrait is in the Art Institute of Chicago, and it is never as swarmed as this one was today, making that experience much more intimate than this one. But that's neither here nor there. I spent some time in the Gallery of Honor noticing the impossible whiteness in the depictions of Jesus, and was wholly astounded by the fact that there are over 1,000 individual artists represented at the Rijksmuseum, and under 30 of them are women. Then I left, as a crowd migrated towards the Museumplein for a climate change demonstration, which was great until this guy with an indecent foam finger flashed it at me. Finally, MoCo, which was holding a Banksy and Daniel Arsham exhibition. It felt weird to be looking at Banksy's art inside, but also right in the design of the MoCo, which is not unlike an abandoned house. There was also this great 3D display of Van Gogh's bedroom as imagined by Roy Lichtenstein. This piece felt intimate in the use of space and also alien in the use of the cartoon design, as if it was saying, "This isn't real, this is just a drawing," which is a somewhat disquieting paradoxical thing to experience. Outside, the rally was growing bigger and bigger, the Museumplein filling with passionate advocates, and even a giant Earth-shaped beach ball. Next, I saw this Arsham piece, a wrapped Tweety, which is exactly what it sounds like, only less gift-style wrapping and more Dada. You don't really know what it is at first, but then you read the label, or you start to recognize the familiar shape. It reminded me of this piece, L'Énigme d'Isidore Ducasse, by Man Ray, who was inspired by Marcel Duchamp. It's a sewing machine, covered in cloth and wrapped in string. And next was another piece by Daniel Arsham, a small room covered in lavender balls, which made me feel delightfully uncomfortable. And then it was back to our place, where I saw the faintest rainbow after 5 minutes of rain. And just like that, I'm back on the tram headed to Amsterdam Central. Monday mornings are trash days, so the morning odor was, well, an odor, but rest assured the city cleaning services had it taken care of right away. and the visuals weren't even really that obstructed. Amsterdam is truly a lovely city. The people are kind, the history is rich, and the food is delicious, unless you're lactose intolerant and care about it. I love its architectural beauty, love how you can find art wherever you look. I love how it holds one of the oldest safe havens for nuns, and yet also legally displays women for prostitution. Not that I'm a fan of prostitution. But I just think that's how life is, full of both ands. A concept that the city does a really great job of embracing, as John Green said, brimming with contradictions. And isn't that life when we sit back and we really, really think about it? So thanks, Amsterdam. Let's not let it be 5 more years until we meet again.